Monday. It is April 20th, and we're going to be doing our very first math lesson in Chapter 11 on measurement. And last week I introduced the chapter to you with a PowerPoint, and each day we're going to be seeing and doing and working through a PowerPoint as well as an introduction to the lesson. So today's lesson is on length. So I'm going to go ahead now and turn towards the PowerPoint. All right, we're going to put this into a slideshow, excuse me. Let's see, so that, like I did last week. Okay. All right, here we go. So this is titled Measurement Comparing Length. This is problem of the day. Circle the number that is greater. So this is going to be a little warm up for you. So I want you to go ahead and you can just point to which one is greater. Is it 15 or 8? Point. If you guessed this one, 15, that is correct. Okay? Over here, the next one, circle the number that is greater, would be 16. Over here, point, 15. Over here, 19. This one, which is greater, 18. 18, 5, 11, and 12. Very good. So that is just our little warm-up for today, and now we're going to go on to the lesson, which is all about length. When we compare lengths, we use the words shorter, longer, and same length. So here we have the first crayon that is shorter than the yellow. So the orange is shorter, and you can see that by the tip of the crayon stops here, but both the yellow and the red crayon keep going. So the yellow crayon is longer than the orange crayon. The yellow is longer than the orange crayon. The orange crayon is shorter than the yellow crayon. And then if we take a look at these two, the yellow and the red, we can see that the tips here are exactly the same. And here they are lined up right next to each other. And so they are the same length, Okay? All right. And now we're going to move on to the next one. The next part, we can also use the words shortest and longest. So we have shortest, again, they're all lined up this way, but we can see over here that the orange is shortest. So out of the three, the orange is the shortest, and the red is the longest out of these three crayons. Okay? Rid of this. There we go. Okay. Circle the sled that is shorter. So I'm not going to mark all over my PowerPoint. I am just going, well, maybe I will. Why not? Okay, we'll go ahead and use the pen, and we use black. It says circle the sled that is shorter. So look at these two sleds. They are lined up right here. Which one is shorter? Is it this one or this one? If you guess this one, that would be correct, and we're going to circle it, just like that, okay? Next one, circle the bug that is shortest. Is it this, or this one? The shortest one would be this one up here. So I'm going to circle that. Circle the bunny that's longer. So now which one is longer? Would be bigger, look bigger, would be this one right here. Oops. And circle the key that is longest. So they are all lined up here. Which one is longest, that sticks out longer? Would be the one in the middle right here. Okay. And circle the two that are the same length. So you look at all three, which are the same length this way and this way. So it would be, of course, this big one right here and this one down here. These two are definitely the same length. Okay. And make a cube train that is longer. So it says click on the blue cube to add a cube to the train. Make a cube train that is longer. So you want to make the blue longer than the red. So I'm going to have to abort my pen, I think. Uh-oh, it's not letting me. Well, I clicked on it, but it's not working. There we go. Okay. Okay, so look at them. Is it longer yet? The answer is no. Oops. It made my red longer. Okay, now it's the same length. So we need to add at least one more to make it longer than the red. Circle the fish that is shortest. Put an X on the longest fish. So the one that's the shortest will look the smallest. I'm going to go ahead now and circle. Out of these three, the shortest would be this one. And then it says put an X on the longest would be this one. Perfect. Try it out. Find something in your room that is shorter than your pencil, and then find something that is longer than your pencil. And that's the end of our slideshow. I'm going to go ahead now and move this out of the way, and we are going to begin with our mouse friend. And our mouse friend is right here. I'm going to bring him up so that he can introduce our lesson today.
Good morning! We're ready to begin our day at the petting zoo. It was windy yesterday. My friend Cher the sheep and I found some things that blew out of the trees. Do you want to see what they are? Click the tree to find out.
Uh-oh. There we go.
I found this pine cone. And Cher found another pine cone in her pen. We both have a pine cone. But which one is longer?
Which one do you think is longer?
I wonder, how can we compare lengths? Maybe we can line up the ends at the same place. Let's go take a look.
Ling has 2 crayons. How can she find out if one is longer or shorter than the other? Could the crayons be the same length? To compare lengths, you have to line up the ends of the objects at the same place. Now the crayons are lined up at the same place. Look at the other ends of the crayons to see which one is longer. The longer crayon is the crayon that sticks out farther than the other. The orange crayon sticks out farther than the purple crayon. It's longer. The purple crayon is shorter than the orange crayon because it doesn't stick out as far. So Ling can compare the lengths of the crayons by lining up the ends at the same place. Then she can see which end sticks out farther. The orange crayon is longer than the purple crayon. The purple crayon is shorter than the orange crayon. If neither crayon stuck out further than the other one, the crayons would be about the same length. Let's make a cube train that's longer than this one. Think about where to begin your cube train. Begin your cube train at the black line. You need to line up the cube trains so you can compare their lengths. How many cubes does the yellow cube train have? The yellow cube train has 1, 2, 3 cubes. Let's use these red cubes to make a cube train that's longer than the yellow one. Think about how many cubes you'll need to make a longer cube train. Begin by dragging the first cube here.
So try to make a guess, boys and girls. How many cubes will it take to make a longer cube train than the yellow? So we're going to start by bringing over the red.
Keep building your cube train until it is longer than the yellow one. Then check your work.
There we go. So look, so far we have 3. It is not longer. Now they're the same. Now, is it longer? If you guessed yes, that's correct.
Great! Your cube train is longer than the yellow cube train because it sticks out farther. Now let's practice with the personal math trainer.
Okay, so now we're going to take a look at our math book. So I hope you have your math book handy. If not, you can pause the video and then go get your math book and crayons and a pencil. So we're starting today with lesson 1, comparing lengths. So take a look at the page and look at what you see. All right, the directions say to look at the pencils. Compare the lengths of the 2 pencils. Use the words longer than, shorter than, or about the same length to describe the lengths. So let's take a look up here. We see the purple pencil, we see the green pencil. It says to trace the circle around the longer pencil. So you're going to take your pencil or a crayon, and I want you to circle, just go ahead and trace right here and go over around the purple crayon because the purple pencil is longer. Then it says to trace the X on the shorter pencil, this one. So we know that the green is shorter. So the purple, you can repeat after me. The purple pencil is longer than the green pencil. And the green pencil is shorter than the purple pencil. And that's all we're doing on this page. You can now turn to the next page if you tear it out or just turn it over. Now the directions on this page says place cubes on the longer cube train. Trace and color the cube train. That's right here. So which one is longer? Looking here, we can see that this cube train is longer. No, you don't have cubes at home. If you do, you can use them. Otherwise, we're just going to go ahead and color the cube train. So at this time, you can use whatever color crayon you want and go ahead and color in this cube train. Okay, I'm not going to take the time to color the whole thing because that would just take me way too long. So I want you to stop the video and you can color this and then come back. So mine's kind of scribble color, but yours can be a lot better. All right, now we're going to go on to number 2 and 3. It says make a cube train that is longer than the cube train shown, and then draw and color. So I've taught you how to do that in the past. how to make cube trains, how to draw them. But now we have to be very careful that we are focusing on where they are supposed to be lined up. Remember in the video, you have to line up the cube trains right along the line. Otherwise, it won't be correct. So what we're going to do now is to draw, starting there with our pencil, and we're going to come to about where the first cube is, and then come down, and then come back in. And then we're going to continue until we make a cube train that is longer than the green one, just like this. Remember, that's all we're focusing on. So right now, it is the same length, but we need to make it longer, so it needs to come out farther. So we're going to do about 2, maybe 3 beyond, so we can really see. And then we put that little knobby at the end, so we know we're done. And then you can go back and draw circles inside, so it looks a little bit more like a cube train. And then you can go ahead and take a any color crayon and go ahead and color this cube train. And again, I'm going to do a quick scribble color just so you can see it, so that I can move on to the next part of our lesson. Okay, and you can do it a little bit neater. And then down here, we need to draw and color another cube train that shows a longer length. So we're going to begin by doing the same thing. Start right on the line. That's very important. Come out and in, and then we're going to come out. Now take a look. Is this longer? No, it is not longer. It's still shorter. So we're going to keep going. And then we need to keep going and do at least a couple more so that we can really see this cube train is beyond and is farther than the yellow. So here is my cube train that is longer. And again, you can go and get any color crayon you want and color it in. All right. This is one time you're going to see Mrs. Sigmund do not a very good job coloring, but you can take the time after I'm done with the lesson. All right, now we're going to move on to the next page. The next page is going to be focusing on the opposite, which is shorter. So we just drew cube trains that were longer than the ones on the page. Now we're going to be drawing cube trains that are shorter. So if it's shorter, it's going to be smaller. So we're going to begin up here where our orange train is, and we're going to, again with our pencil, draw a cube train that is shorter. So it's going to have less cubes than what you see here. So I'm going to draw, and we don't have to make one very big, friends. We can just do a couple because it's shorter. How about we do 3? Let's just do 3, and then we're going to stop. So we can see that this cube train is shorter than the orange because it doesn't have as many cubes and it doesn't come out as far as the orange. And then again, you can take a crayon and color that in. Let's come down to the blue cube train, and now we're going to do the same thing again, and we're going to draw a smaller one. If you want to pause the video at this time, you can complete this page all by yourselves. I'm going to go and do one more this time. You can always complete these on your own and then go back and continue the video with me to see if your answers are correct. So now we have again another cube train that is shorter than the blue. So again, we're focusing on our new vocabulary of shorter and longer. Let's go down to the bottom now. We have one more to do on this page, and we're going to make a really short one. We're just going to do 2. Let's do 1 cube and 2, and then we're done. And we have a very short cube train here. Remember, you can go back and color these afterward. This cube train is shorter than the red cube train. All right, we're going to move on now to our very last page. Our last page is going to be focusing on, again, what we've been talking about with longer and shorter, and focusing on that new vocabulary that I taught you. So for the first one, it says color. Uh-oh. So sorry, boys and girls, but I think I actually jumped to the wrong lesson. Okay, here we go. Okay, two of these pencils are about the same length. Color those pencils. All right, I am not going to color them. You can color them. I am just going to cross them out. It says two of these pencils are about the same length. So they're all lined up perfectly here. Now come out here, look at the tip here, this one and this one. Which two are the same length? Point to them. And now cross them out. You can cross them out with me or you can color them. It's up to you. Then down here at the bottom, it says draw to show what you know about two objects that are about the same length and tell a friend. So we're just going to draw now two pencils, just like what's up there, but the directions said that are the same length. So we're going to come out and just do something like this. Make sure again you start right at that line, and then we're just going to do a point like this. And that's my pencil, or it can be a crayon, actually. And then we're going to come out again. Try to do as straight as you can. And then come back in and a point. The important thing here is that they are the same length. If I draw a line right here, we can see that my two pencils or crayons are about the same length. So to review and recap and finish up our lesson using the words longer, shorter, and same length. Let's come up to number 7. Looking at this pencil, the very first pencil, and repeat after me. The first pencil is longer than the second pencil. My second pencil is shorter than my first pencil. And down here at the bottom, repeat after me. The two pencils I drew are the same length. And that concludes our math lesson for today. These math lessons are going to be a little bit extra long because of the special PowerPoints that I'll be doing at the beginning. So I hope you enjoyed learning about length, and you can do as was advised earlier and go around your house and see if you can find some objects that are about the same length and maybe longer and shorter using pencils as your guide. All right, and that concludes our math lesson for Monday, April 20th. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, boys and girls.